Welcome to Travel Guide YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the top 10 most visited countries in the world. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to Travel Guide channel for future updates. When it comes to tourism, which countries in the globe get the biggest number of visitors? European countries account for 12 of the top 20 most visited countries in the world according to a recent rating from the United Nations World Tourism Organization. However, Asia and the Pacific, which includes 5 countries on the list, is the region with the fastest growth. Expect to see these countries climb the rankings in the future. Continue reading to find out which countries made the cut. Is your favorite travel location among the countries on this list? Number 10. United Kingdom, 36.3 million visitors. The United Kingdom, which is made up of 4 countries, England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, that all speak English, has long been a popular tourist destination for visitors from throughout the world. Although the country's ranking on the most visited countries list dropped from 7th to 10th between 2017 and 2018, Visit Britain predicts a rebound this year, with tourism increasing by another 6%. More than half of all visitors to the United Kingdom arrive in London, which is renowned for its seamless blend of history and modern urbanity, not to mention its exemplary, scot-free museums. Wales is the least visited of the countries on the list, with only 2% of visitors making it here. The Tower of London is a historic stronghold that houses the world-famous crown jewels, which include brilliant scepters and crowns that have been passed down through the generations. Number 9. Thailand, 38.2 million visitors. Thailand is the most visited country in Southeast Asia, accounting for over half of all visitors. In 2018, the country received roughly 3 million more tourists than it did in 2017, resulting in $6 billion in spending. Known for being a budget-friendly destination due to its favorable exchange rate, $1 equals 30 THB, Thailand is rapidly evolving into a luxury destination as more resorts and high-end services replace the backpacker and shady enterprises of Bangkok. It is so picturesque and popular that the Thai government decided to close them until 2021 in order to allow for a period of recuperation following years of over-tourism. Preparing for a future journey to the island is essential, as is taking good care of the natural environment while you're there. Number 8. Germany, 38.8 million visitors. For 9 consecutive years, the number of visitors to Germany has been gradually increasing. Germany scored first in the world in terms of popularity on the Nation Brands Index in 2017 and 2018, according to the World Brands Index. Another popular nation among Europeans, notably among the Dutch, is that of Iceland. Travelers from the United States constitute the largest segment of the international market. Both Europeans and Americans are enthralled by the country's thought-provoking historical attractions, vibrant towns, and immense forests, which encompass 1/3 of the country, and maybe most importantly, outstanding beer. The Brandenburg Gate, which was built in 1791 and is the sole intact town gate in Berlin, is a historical landmark. It was from this location that President Ronald Reagan famously declared, "Mr. Gorbachev, knock down this wall." Since the fall of the Berlin Wall, the gate has emerged as a potent symbol of international solidarity. Number 7. Mexico, 41.4 million visitors. Mexico broke its own tourist record in 2018, raking in more than $20.3 billion in revenue as a result. Those that visited the country spent, on average, approximately $500 throughout their stay, with the majority of them hailing from the United States and Canada. Residents of the United Kingdom were the most frequent foreign visitors to Mexico. Even though the country's postcard-perfect beaches remain a major draw, the country's tourism board has successfully promoted the country's ancient history, cultural institutions, diverse cuisine, and natural features that extend beyond the shoreline, such as butterfly sanctuaries, canyons, and waterfalls, to visitors. Inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List as a site dating from A.D. 750 to 1200, Chichen Itza is an ancient Mayan village. Number 6. Turkey, 45.7 million visitors. As a result of political unrest and terrorist acts, tourism in Turkey experienced a 30% decline in 2016. However, travelers began to return in 2017, and the number of visitors increased by approximately 22% in the subsequent year. Istanbul welcomed a record number of visitors last year, enticing people to the city's east-meets-west cultural attractions, vibrant bazaars, and magnificent mosques, among other attractions. However, it is the beach city of Antalya in the south of Turkey that has seen the most growth. More than 12.4 million people visited this Mediterranean region last year, and the Ministry of Culture and Tourism anticipates that the number of tourists would surpass 50 million in 2019. Old mosques, Roman aqueducts, and an ancient port flanked with vibrant modern-day cafes may all be found in the old town of Antalya. Beautiful beaches can also be found in the surrounding area. It's no surprise that travelers are flocking to Antalya in droves. Number 5. Italy, 62.1 million visitors. Because tourism is so popular in Italy, large queues at popular attractions such as St. Paul's Cathedral in London and the Colosseum in Rome are almost inevitable, even if you've made reservations in advance. According to statistics, Italy's tourist development is outpacing the rest of Europe, with Rome garnering roughly 27 million of the country's visitors. The majority of visitors to Italy are from Europe. Germans account for 14% of all visitors, followed by visitors from France and the United Kingdom, who each account for 3%. Americans are the most important foreign market, accounting for 3% of total exports. Within a short distance of Rome, Italy offers a bewildering array of attractions, including rolling vineyards of Tuscany and Florence's cultural heritage, the natural beauties of the Amalfi Coast, and the canals of Venice, among many more. Take a break from the crowds by exploring the ancient ruins of Sicily and its temperate beaches. Travel now before it becomes overrun as well. Sicily experienced a more than 7% increase in tourists last year alone. Number 4. China, 62.9 million visitors. It is not only the case that China receives more tourists than the rest of the globe, but that its own citizens account for 10% of all international passengers. Chinese passports are scheduled to be issued to approximately 300 million people, or 20% of the country's population. By 2027, Chinese travelers also spend more than tourists from any other country, virtually double the amount spent by tourists from the second-ranked country, a stunning $277 billion. Those that travel to China from other parts of the world encounter everything that comes with being the world's longest continuous civilization, from towns that date back thousands of years to ancient wonders such as the Great Wall. Furthermore, the country's cuisine is unrivaled in terms of affordability and flavor, and it is also quite reasonable. It is surrounded by mountains and is home to 5 drum towers, each of which represents one of the 5 excellent manners in Chinese tradition: kindness, righteousness, civility, wisdom, and trust. Jiaoxing village is surrounded by mountains and is home to 5 drum towers. Number 3. United States, 79.6 million visitors. Due to its size of 3.8 million square miles, nearly as large as the entire continent of Europe, it's simple to see why the United States is the 3rd most popular tourist destination on the planet. The country's combination of radically diverse attractions, which includes some of the most iconic cities in the world, New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, as well as a growing national park system, doesn't hurt either. Get a taste of the country's natural frontiers by visiting Utah's mighty 5 national parks, which include Arches, Bryce Canyon, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, and Zion National Parks. Number 2. Spain, 82.7 million visitors. Many news outlets are reporting on the tremendous over-tourism that has been observed in Barcelona, which saw an all-time high of 8 million tourists in 2018. The fact is, however, that this reflects only a tenth of the people who come to this vast country, which includes the cultural capital of Madrid and the flamenco capital of Seville, as well as unspoilt countryside and stunning beaches, among other attractions. The majority of visitors to the country come from Germany and the United Kingdom, though people from these nations are increasingly choosing to travel neighboring Turkey and Greece instead. Americans are filling the void left by their departure, with roughly 3 million people from the United States arriving in the country last year, representing an 11.8% increase over the previous year. The rush of tourists, however, has put the locals on edge, and the Spanish are thought to be developing tourist anxiety, particularly in Barcelona and the Catalan republics. Toss aside the tourist traps and embark on a pilgrimage along the Camino de Santiago, sometimes known as the Way, which winds its way across northern Spain. Number 1. France. 89.4 million visitors. France receives more visitors than any other country in the world, and the country has set a goal of 100 million visitors by 2020. Do you think they'll make it? We agree, particularly in light of the fact that it hosted the FIFA Women's World Cup earlier this year. Not only does France attract the greatest number of visitors, but they also make the most of their time in the country. Last year, tourism generated $62 billion in revenue. Take advantage of the opportunity to pay a visit while you can. Tourism will continue to grow, especially once France is awarded the right to host the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. In France, there are several sites that must not be missed. UNESCO World Heritage Site Mont Saint-Michel in northern France is a site unlike any other, a medieval abbey situated atop a single island. It is genuinely unlike anything else on the planet. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.